morning, traders. Gary Odom here. I have a little video about price action and wave count and numerous other things. I'm on demand. I have a reason for that, because eventually somewhere in this video we're going to start talking about this stow value here, but not right away. But in order to do that, it only reads this bar. Okay, you notice that this bar right here, if you come down here and you say, where is it? I can't read it. Oh, is that 29? Is that 31? What is it? I can't read it. All right, 24, is it 26? What is it? What is it? Okay, it's very hard to read that on these charts, these indicators. That's one of the reasons the TWZPI was written, because, trying to interpret what this chart is telling you is very difficult. You think you know by looking at these lines, but it's not nearly as accurate as having digital information. So this digital here is going to be a lot more accurate than anything we can do. But we're going to use this, all it is stochastic 532, as part of a teaching tool to learn how to count waves. And we're going to factor all that into the price action. It'll take a while to get there. We may ramble a little bit, picking up some information that we can add to the general discussion as we go. So, don't get too caught up in, exactly where we're going, because this is kind of a big mishmash of information all piled in one place, and we have to kind of sort it out as we go. Okay, the first thing we want to do is we want to take a look at something here. I have a future here, and I want to see, okay, we are not showing extended trading hours, and that's good. That's what I wanted. Okay, let's begin here, right here, pretty much in the middle, where this red moving average has turned green. Now, I hesitate to call this moving average the trend, and I'll show you why. The trend is what price does, not what a moving average does. I don't care who tells you otherwise. That, in fact, is the truth. Now, sometimes we refer to the moving average as the trend strictly as a reference point. But if you want to dissect it as to where you are in the trend and whether or not it's waning, you need to look at price. And that's what we're going to do. Price is king. Always has been, always will be. Because each one of these little bars are people. Lots of people. People who wrote programs for high-frequency trading. People who trade these emotionally every day. Some guy who is a COVID lock-in decided to change his career and has no clue what he's doing, but he's out there trading anyway. Or the guy right next to him who is a seasoned trader who makes his living by taking money of this guy who doesn't know what he was doing. All of that is factored into these bars. And the sooner you think about it in those terms, the sooner you realize what is all going on here. This is a wonderful little world to get to know, with all the wonderful little people and big people and various technology events that's occurring to form these bars. And we want to get a feel of it, because we too want to make money. So we start out here at the cross of the moving average, and we begin to look for a wave one. Sometimes it's difficult to do. Well, if you go up here, you might get captivated on this one bar here saying that's wave one and that's wave two, but it's not. And the reason it's not is because look at your cycle down here. This is not a wave, but a cycle. Your cycle is all above 80. So anything that's above 80 cannot be a wave two. It cannot be a retrace of wave one. Plus, you'll notice each one of these price bars are within the limits, the high-low limits of this price bar. They have to break this price bar zone, this high-low zone. They have to be open and closed down here somewhere. before we could call it the retrace of wave 1. So all of this is wave 1, all the way up to here. Now, we could call this the top of wave 1, and this the beginning of wave 2. But again, we have the same problem. Look at the price bars. They're pretty much within this. But we don't have to go to all this analyzation. I'm just trying to show you why we don't want to consider this as a wave. Look at the cycles. The cycles have already run their course, and they're going back down, but yet price is not. I told you price was king. Well, guess what? You could actually call this as your wave 2. Right here. Where's the top of wave 1? Who knows? Who cares? Probably here. And you notice it was turning down, but we had to find where the wave was, and that's it. You notice these prices, all these prices, well, at least these two, open well below the full measure of this bar, and then stopped. Look where it is on the bottom. It just barely penetrated the bottom. Okay, so what do we have? Wave 1, wave 2. Got it? How about wave 3? Oh, that might be interesting. Yep, okay, let's go up here and look. Wow, this looks like wave 2 to me. Actually, this is one of those situations where subjectivity involved. And I'm really glad that this one was here. Well, that's not true. I'm not glad. I picked this out so that this would be here. But you'll notice that this bar, in fact, does open below this high bar and closes. So technically, we can call this a wave. We can call this wave 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And then, of course, the next wave, we're looking for a cycle high again. It's going to be up here. And that would be wave 5. Now what's happening? Well, it looks like it's going back toward the moving average to reset. Guess what? This was an uptrend from here to here. And then it's not. All right? Now, the reason I picked this chart, this 10-minute chart, because I'm on demand. I told you I was on demand. I want to start using this symbol over here, and eventually I'm going to take this stuff off the screen so you could just use this and price to count your waves. It's not that difficult. But every time I hit this button here, it moves it 10 minutes. So I needed to have a bar change. That's why I used a 10-minute chart. Okay? So here we go. We're going to click on it. And here we got it. There's our bar. We definitely are coming down. And we might be calling that a, ooh, I know it has to do this. Every time I click that button, it has to do this. There we go. A 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And a coming down, and a coming down. Where's it going? Is this going to make a wave 6? Well, you'll notice it's still above these previous lows, so it absolutely could qualify for a wave 6. And the problem is, this has never penetrated the zone. It's never gone down far enough. So let's see what happens. Let's do another bar. Let's do another bar. It does take a while to feel sometimes. See the pre-buffering? Yeah, there we go. Do another bar. Oh, here we go. It finally hit the window. It might move us. Yeah, it did. So, in fact, this was a cycle low, and this did penetrate right here. It's like about a, I don't know, 14, something like that, 17. It did penetrate right here. So this is your cycle low and wave number 6. Okay, and it's going back up. Now, before I leave the screen and go any further, I want to show you some very important information on the screen. We started this trade on this bar, right? Not this trade, this presentation on this bar right here. And you see it broke through these red lines. This is the TWZPI lines. This is a bearish support zone. And I was talking about energy, that relating to people. People have energy. Sprinters, for instance, runners, they use explosive energies for a short period of time, and they have no more, and they run out. Well, look at over here. See way over here? This is the bullish support zone on the left. It broke out, crossed over this bullish support zone, and just kept going until it formed another zone. This would have been an ideal location for a trade right here. It would not have been a long trade, but it would have been a successful trade because it did, in fact, break that bullish zone, and it was supported by this bullish zone. There's also another bullish zone below, and that's why this one didn't extend any further. They kind of replace each other. And it hit this bearish support zone, and it was supported to the bearish side. It did break here and did have a nice little run, but it didn't run very far because it formed another one, respected the zone, and came back. So you can see what's happening. It's losing energies. The retrace here is much further than the retrace here. All right, you start drawing your Fibonacci lines and having percentages and looking, you see how this compares to that. This retrace further from here to here is a bigger point move than the other. So does this mean it's going to reload from this point, or is it just going to fail again? Well, it's still got this bearish support zone to get through. We'll see. Let's pop it a few candles and see what happens. And again. Got a red bar. It is what we could consider to be a cycle high. But it's well below this, so it's not an extenuation of this trend. Maybe more like an A, B, C pattern. Let's see. You got to have, if it's going to be a continuing trend, maybe not. We do have a cycle low. It looks like we're going to form maybe another cycle high, which would actually put us on wave 7. It's easy to remember. Odd numbers are up, even numbers are down. Just a reverse on the other one. And it looks like we have another cycle high. So this would be wave number 7. Again, I'm still concerned about this bearish support zone. It is above it, but it just broke above. And these candles are very small. So let's see. Let's hit it again. Now, oh, look at that. Look at that. The green, the green. That's the doji for all intent and purposes. Look at it. Green or red. Green or red. Trying to change. Trying to change. Another 10 minutes. It was firmed up. It's still pre-buffering. No, it's good. Let's do this. Let's go slow, but guys, it's the only way I have to do it. I really hate that they're getting all this pre-buffering stuff. My internet used to be faster. We have a community here that's all provided services by Xfinity. And let me tell you why. Since COVID has occurred, here's my my scan program throwing some symbols up there for bullish move. And you see, we had that little bar that I told you it was, vacillating. And yes, it turned red. And yes, it's moving toward a downward wave. So we have, again, this was wave 7. It's an extended wave count. Some would say this is a reset back here. And you could count that if you wanted to. I don't have a problem counting it as a reset because it did come all the way back to the moving average, and we kind of use that as a target. It didn't cross it, however, so you might be wary of counting on a continuation of this wave count. And again. See, this is turning back up. See, stochastic's turning back up down here. Now I'm going to start bringing your attention, now that we're over here and we're looking at this and this, we're going to do away with this bottom indicator here in just a minute, and we're going to use this here. See the stochastic over here? We're going to use this. And you notice that it's yellow, which means this doesn't have a preference or up or down right now. It's uncommitted. And that's because K and D don't agree. Okay? Now, it had something that has occurred. You notice that it dropped further down. And now it's showing us a 22.3 on the downside. So this wave is obviously turned. This was the top of, I forget what it was. It was extended wave 7, I believe. Yeah, 1, 3, 5, 7. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, let's hit it again. But we're going to take this off. We're just going to turn it off. We don't want it anymore. We don't need it. We have everything we need right here with the TWT. Come on, guys. There we go. Slow, slow, slow. All right, we're going to watch this now. We're going to watch this and this. That's all we're going to watch. This one. Look at Stowe, a green 30. Still green. Ah, boy, it did pop up. So, 7, 8, but just barely 8. I'm not sure it cleared this one. I'm not sure that I would account this for an 8 wave, because it's so close to closing inside this bar. It also went open below without a doubt, but it looked like it might have closed within that bar. So I'm not sure. And it doesn't really make much difference anyway, because we're out here at an extended wave count. But let's count it. I don't think this is a wave 8. I think this is just an extension of the wave 7. So let's go on. And again, like I said, it's so far out, do we really care? I would make a trade here, with the exception of having this bearish support zone, but it's up. I would have no problems making a trade if I had support from everything else. And mom and dad supporting me here, but stochastic is not. Okay. As a matter of fact, stochastic's making noises like it wants to change its mind. See, it's yellow, and it's in a 92 range. This could very well be our cycle high and the top of our wave. Let's go. Wow, was I right? I didn't realize it was going to be so right, but I was. Yes, indeed, it was the top of the wave. And you're talking about an extended wave? Yes, it would have been. Had I made a trade here, like I talked about it, where it broke the zone, I'd been okay. I'd made a little money, and I'd been taken out of here very quickly. But obviously, there's no point in making a trade now. I mean, we have just crashed through the moving average. So that's it for this particular wave count session. We're going to talk more about what happens with the TWZPI in another video. But before I do that, I want to take something off the screen. And we're going to start over with our wave count. Okay? Now, I'm going to move this up 1, 2, 3 clicks and see where it takes us. If the market's tanking, it's not going to take us anywhere. Okay, hang on. There we go. The trend is down now. And it looks like it's trying to make a little recovery. One could say we could start a down wave count here. This could be wave number 1, and it's coming back up. And we went past this 1, 2, 3 candles. Let me back it up. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if that'll back it up 30 minutes. It's at 1406. Again, it's buffering up here. And changing screens. Okay. You can see here the stow is at 13, which is well below the lower limit of 20. Now we move it up 10 minutes. So that would be a cycle low. I don't know if it's the cycle low yet. I want to look at the next bar. And it resets, and yes, it gives us a green bar. Now this hasn't confirmed the up wave, but you'll notice that the stochastic is still below the zone, but it's uncommitted to which way it's going right now. It's in the yellow, it's trying to turn green. I saw a few flashes of green in there. We'll move it up another 10 minutes, and then we'll see whether or not we have the form of wave 2. I can see automatically that stow is green now. I don't see it buffering, so maybe it missed my click. Oh no, there it goes. Maybe move it 2 bars now. Okay, this is the next bar. I ended up clicking it twice. And that bar shows us to be 21.6, so we're up above the lower limit. So this is wave 1, and we're starting wave 2. You get the drill? We get the drill of how this works. And where's our indicators? We don't have anything up here. All we have is the TWZPI, which you're going to need to trade anyway. And it's showing you how we're starting a new wave. Now I'm going to pop this about, 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if it actually works. I'm looking at this and it was marginally, I really need to get a reading on that bar, and I hit it too many times. But, well here, let's just pop the stochastics back in there real quick and we'll get a reading on it that way. If you're going bar by bar, you don't have any problems. You can see what is happening. But I'm trying to go too fast. Oh, I see what it is. We just had a whole bunch of stuff wallowing around, and that would have been a more like we have right there. A green 25, a red 25, and that kind of thing. And you can see it right here. It's all hanging up on that. And really, we wouldn't have started the up wave yet because we never really made a break up. We just had a whole bunch of stuff hanging on that bottom line. We'll just leave that down, but we'll continue to use this instead. And we're going to go up, yeah. It's still green. It takes so long for these charts to change. Try it again. You'll do it in a splurch probably. We'll go up 2 more bars. So far, it's not really. It's not even plotting down below either. Yeah, it's not doing anything. It's hung up. You see, stochastic is still hung up at 25. 1, 2 bars. Still dragging. It's not coming off that bar for some reason. It's interesting. Okay, it's not changing the time, so I'm gonna get up here and change the time myself. I'm gonna run this up to, oh, I see what it is. This is the end of the day. Okay, let's do this. Let's just change it to 09 and put in here the 7th. Yeah, we're at the end of the day. That would do it. October the 7th. That's not what I wanted. It's got me at 1600 hours. I want 09. 09 is what I want there. There we go. All right, it took a spike in the morning. Wow, that's incredible. It took a spike, and we should have had some kind of signal about that because it kept banging on this line, and that's why this stochastic just was doing a red 25 and a green 25, and there's my alert on my TDP bullish is coming up. And then in the morning, it just took a spike. Now, I will tell you, these parabolic trades like this are danger signals. I mean, and plus, you've got a bearish support zone here and here. I'd be real leery about jumping into a trade. But in any case, you got a wave 1 and then a parabolic move. And I would not count this as wave 2. I would count this as looking for the change in the trend is what I would account it for. Because you just don't have that continuity, that continuation of information, one bar relating to the other that exists here. It's gone. So you must start over. And look what you got here. You have a real positive move saying for a bullish trade. You actually have the moving average and these going up. You have the stochastic below the upper zone. And you have this little TWZPI resistance zone here. And frankly, I'm concerned about that. And what I'm going to do is, rather than clicking a button like I was doing before, it seemed like it didn't go quickly enough. So I'm going to just try doing this. Just taking it to 10 and going there. Still pre-buffering. And we're at 10. It did move. Now it's 10-10. It did move a bar. Let's take it another to 10-20. You formed a new bearish zone. There was one here you had to be wary of, and one here you had to be wary of. So both of those signals are saying, I don't care how good it looks on a TDVT, don't take it. don't take it. And you had a signal here, but you had all this stuff going on. I would not take it. Still talking about price action, guys. We're no longer counting waves. That's a dead issue. Look at all these. I used to plot these lines in red and yellow. And the yellow was the up move, and of course the red was down move. And it was just a little thing, as a memory kind of thing. We used to have a saying down in Louisiana when I lived there, where they had coral snakes. And they looked a whole lot like another snake, which a harmless snake, which had red on black. In other words, you had black stripes with red dividers on it. Red, black, red, black. Black, red, black. Then you had a coral snake that had red stripes. Yellow stripes with red in the middle. And they say, red on black is your friend, Jack. Red on yellow can kill a fella. I know it's kind of a country saying, but it's very, very true. So I thought maybe I'd just make this red and yellow, because we see red on yellow can kill a fellow. So just remember that little saying to try to keep you out of these trades, where it's got this jumble up stuff here. And it wouldn't get you in here anyway, but I'm just saying, just keep that in mind. You want a smooth transition of pricing. Remember, this is a trend trading methodology. It's not a scalper. If you want to scalp, but I don't think you can get much benefit from using a TWZPI. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, that berry zone is very prominent here. It's got a lot to break through. So as far as getting back up to here, this top up here, it's got a battle at hand. So what I'm going to do is, rather than continue to track price bar by bar, I'm just going to move it up so we can see where it actually went. Okay, let's just change this. Let's just move it up an hour. Okay, let's see where it went an hour from now. Well, it didn't go anywhere. It just kept creating these berry support zones and just kept it trapped between there and the moving average. So it was a good thing that we stayed on the trade. All right, we're going to have some other things to look at, and probably in following videos. I've given you my little quick count the wave thing. Review it if you need to you know what to look at. Just remember that this stochastics down here is reflected here, so you don't really need it. If you go on bar by bar, if you're trying to look at what happened in the past, of course you will need this, because this just plots bar by bar. But you could very easily mark each of those high bars, like when you got to them. Let's see if we can find a drawing tool that will do that. I think this will do it. For instance, you could have marked this one right there. You could have marked that one and that one and that one. And these are TOS drawing tools, so I know you have them. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then bang, the bottom fell out. So easy that is. Easy peasy. So that's it. That's all we got. I'll see you on the other side.